Made us.
Good morning.
There.
Today is day 3 of the Facebook Live video challenge I'm in, and we've had quite a morning trying to get everything figured out. So we're like very intimate this morning because we are squeezed into my little telephone because just technical difficulties. Anyways, so how's everybody doing this morning?
I'm just sharing us live here. Sorry.
It's Sunday morning, 10 a.m. in Davidson, Saskatchewan, and it is December 1st. So that's pretty cool. And today what we really wanted to chat about today is really all about being you. And I know that may sound kind of funny because people are like, well, I am me. But how much of, we're hugging, how much of you are you because you think you should be a certain way and act a certain way and do things for, not for you, but for other people all the time. And yeah, like really think about that. My face is disappearing. We can't even do like take 2 on this.
Yeah. Oh, because we're live.
And that's part of the... Okay, so anyways, I just wanted to read, this is Blessed Possibilities by Gary Douglas. It's a really good book if you want to purchase it. It's got lots of juicy information in it that can change your life. So this is something that he said that, well, actually there's a few things.
And a shopping list.
And a shopping list. Okay, so most people are trying to be normal, average, and real. They think that's phenomenal. They think that they want to be extraordinary, which is extra of the ordinary, but that's not being all the things they can be. It's not being phenomenal. I want to make you guys step up to what you don't want to step up to, whether you like it or not, because it can feel very uncomfortable stepping up and being you. So now, where was that other thing I wanted to read here? So this is a conversation that he's having with one of his clients. And this guy says, what is it that I'm not choosing or creating? Am I not willing to have responsibility? But that's not it. It's about the willingness to include me and create my reality. And Gary says, yes, creating your reality requires you to practice every day. Good morning. You have to ask the question, if I were creating my reality, what would I choose? I've got kids, so this really hit me. I've got kids, so I've got to do this. I've got a business, so I've got to do that. What we need to ask is, if I were creating my reality, what would I choose, right? Like we just really, we think we have to do all these things, and nobody's making us do any of these things. We're choosing them. We're making like shit up in our head all the time about what we need to do and what we need to say and who we need to, be. And like, because I'm a mom, I have to do this, this, and this. And then like, according to whose rules, right? And like, same with like if you're a business person, we're always comparing ourselves to other people and their businesses and how many people like say they have coming to their classes or, signing up for their stuff. Like, and we compare that, but like, what is success to you and to me? And like, it's going to be different for everyone. You have to just, choose for you. And what does, say, success mean to you?
Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Patricia Hackett. This is day 3 of the Facebook Live that we're doing. And today we're talking all about being you and how, like, what that means to be you and choose for you, because we do really, most of us don't choose for us. Like, really think about that. So a clearing that you can do is this. What have you made so vital about the phenomenons of normal, average, and real, and the same as everybody else that keeps you from the strangeness of total creation that you could be? Creative people are strange. They're weird. You've got to be careful about them, and everything that brings up times a gazillion will you destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. We're like so scared to be us because other people might think we're weird. Well, why don't you like embrace your weirdness? Like
Definitely.
what would it take to just embrace every part of you? Like Kara and I taking the foundation this summer in Swift Current, like we really realized a lot of things about ourselves, and instead of looking at it as like a flaw or something that made us less, like we realized that it's part of what makes us who we are.
Definitely.
And
embracing the light side of you and the shadow side of you. Like, what do you want to do for you? And just do it. Even if when you were a kid, somebody said, oh, well, you can't do that. That's not the way we do things. Do it anyways, right?
Exactly. And like it all does come down to like kids think this way too. And no wonder we grow up to be adults that think this way. Like Kara and I did a School of Magic yesterday, and there was this little girl who she was talking about how she, at recess on the playground, how she would like to be friends with more people, but she's really good friends with one girl in particular, and she just doesn't want to hurt her feelings, so she doesn't play with anyone else at school. She just plays with this one girl all the time. And we're just like, well, what else could you choose? Like just really look at what you're saying, and what else would be possible? Like, could you invite this little girl to come play with another group of people? And like the other thing is like, how do you even know that she would think that? Like,
we make up so much stuff in our minds about what other people must be thinking, and we create a reality based on that, but we don't actually know that that's what they're thinking. We're crazy. We're totally crazy.
Yeah. We really are insane, the shit that we do and that we think. Like, oh, like we spend hours and hours like brewing over something that we said. Say you went out and you did something that you were like, not real impressed with yourself about or embarrassed that you said. And then you could spend the next like days or weeks or like hours even like
I remember those mornings very well, of like going out drinking and then waking up in the morning and just being absolutely mortified. Like, oh my God, what are people going to think? And then you start texting with other people and they think the same thing. Nobody's worried about anybody but themselves. So like we all think that everybody's talking about us, but usually not the case.
So
we're just jerks.
Yeah, we're jerks. So do what makes you fucking happy.
Yeah.
Like that's like the biggest message that we want to get across is do what makes you happy, because life is so short, and like we just like we're really ridiculous as humans because we're constantly making up what we should be doing because of what other people might think. And then you talk to that person and they're like, sorry, I wasn't even thinking about that. Like, I really, that's been bugging you? Like,
yeah,
I never cared. Like,
Anybody else guilty of that? Going through a whole drawn out conversation of your head, of a conversation that never existed or ever will? Like,
exactly. So it's really about stepping up and being accountable and being an allowance of yourself. Like being an allowance of yourself is probably so like one of the biggest things, like just allowing yourself to be you and whatever that looks like. And it doesn't mean that every day, like you're just living in this fantasy world where everything's just perfect and floofy and, full of unicorns and lollipops or what.
Unless you want it to
Unless you want it to be. And like, but it's like, it's just like if you have a bad day, being an allowance of that and just being like, okay, like I choose to be a grumpy bitch today. Like, that's my choice, and not judging yourself over it and beating yourself up over it. And then if the next day you're feeling like positive and happy, like there's nothing right or wrong about any of it. It's just being an allowance of yourself. And this really, really made an impact on me was this thing Gary Douglas said again in Blessed Possibilities. There is an unkindness when you are not being everything you are. It's the unkindness of not being you. When you're not being you, other people can't see you. Like, seriously, you're being a fake version of you when you're not being you. And so others can't see you. You just kind of blend in with everyone else. And that's what some people like that, and that's okay too. Like, they just want to be normal. Like, then that's fine. That's a choice. But like, what if you could be more? What if you allowed yourself to be you? They can't see what you are trying to inspire them to. You're actually denying people the inspiration and the choice of possibility. So just by you being you, just by us being here today, like, you know, it's been a little interesting, and like we're pushing ourselves beyond our boundaries by putting ourselves out there. But just by being us, like maybe this could inspire you to do something that you've been afraid to do, that you just like doubted yourself about, or, you know, didn't think you could do, because you can do anything.
And I think one of the biggest things is when you do put yourself out there, to remember that we are like totally psychic beings too, and we pick up on other people's stuff, and like we're all different, so not everybody is gonna like you being you, right? But to be okay with that, and to not go into alignment and agreement with other people's points of view, because again, it's not right or wrong, good or bad, real or true. It's just a point of view. And if you are being you, and then you let somebody's judgment of you stick you, and you align and agree with that, like then you have to go into a wrongness of you. But it has nothing, like nothing is ever personal. Other people's points of view about you and everybody else, like it's not personal. It's actually a reflection of their own inner world. And that's why it's like, just be you. Not everyone's gonna like you, but who gives a shit? Do you like everybody?
Exactly.
I don't like everybody. So yeah, that's my little rant.
Well, it is so true though. Like we do, like we take everything so personally all the time, but it not that like that is so huge to me, that nothing is personal, because we make everything so personal. Like we're actually really think we're pretty high and mighty to be thinking everything is about us.
Yeah, so get yourself out a sticky note right now and write in huge letters. I have this on my wall. Nothing is personal, ever.
Exactly.
Don't ever forget that.
Exactly. If you can remember anything, remember that. Because, like, how much time do you spend thinking about the shit that other people did? Probably not very much. Most of your time is spent thinking about how you looked, you know, what you said, and what other people are thinking. We're always thinking about what other people are thinking about us. Like, so nothing is personal.
Yes.
Feet are falling asleep.
Mine too.
So each one of you has the ability to be something you are not being. If you choose to be that, you would give other people the inspiration to create, generate, and be something greater than they have been willing to be, which would generate and create a different planet, a different
Good morning, Felita.
Earth. Good morning. So what do you want to create? Do you want to create the same old shit? Then keep withdrawing. Do you want to create a different reality? Then step up and show up. Be the inspiration by being the difference you are. Be that, and you will inspire people. When you don't be that, you are being mean in every way. You're being penurious. You are holding on to what you have as though nobody else can have it. And that is not being kind. So really, it's all about stepping up and showing up for you. And by doing that, you're creating more for the world. Like, if we were all just being us and doing, like, being the gift we truly be, can you even imagine how different of a reality we would be living in?
Everybody just showed up being them.
Totally.
It'd be a pretty cool place.
And so, how do you do that? Well, like, Kara and I are offering the School of Magic for kids because really noticing, like, how much of an impact it is, how much of an impact when you get to kids at such a young age and you change their thoughts at such a young age. Like, we've only had 2 classes with these kids.
They're amazing.
They're so amazing. And they're already thinking the stupid shit that we think as adults. And it's like, man, if we can get to them young, like, we even said to them, like, you guys, like, can you even imagine all that you can be and all that you will be growing up by being you now?
Yeah.
And, like, it's never too late for us as adults either. And so that's, like, our practical magic where we're, like, using all sorts of tools to help you because we've been so brainwashed almost all these years to be normal, to fit in, to do what they say, like, so we have all sorts of different ways of kind of getting our brains out of that way of thinking and like journaling, crystals.
And a good question to start off your day is, what's one uncomfortable thing I could do today? Because it isn't always comfortable showing up being you, right? But if you just do it, you might be surprised what happens.
Totally.
Yeah.
So if anyone has any questions, good morning, Wendy and Amber, Christy.
Does anybody have any questions for us?
Does anyone think that they could today do one thing? What would it be? Like, what would it be like to be you? We gotta find the kid within and reconnect, right,
yes.
Amber?
And that, I'm glad you brought that up, Amber, because that's like one thing I've really discovered when you're trying to like get out of this kind of brainwashed way of living, and it's like, what do I want to be? And one of the best ways to do that for me is to reflect back on being a kid. Like, what made me happy as a kid before you got swept away with all the rules and regulations of this reality? And
right? So, like, looking at us, like Kara and I, like, we were kind of like mischievous little shitheads as kids, and we still are, and embracing that and not looking at that as a wrongness.
Yes.
And like, we loved magic, and like, we loved spirits, and we loved going on adventures. Like,
love being scared, like getting like the heebie-jeebies.
Exactly. And as you grow up, it's like, I don't know why, but people push that down, and they think it's a wrongness about them. And like Kara said, embracing your shadow side and your so-called good side, or whatever word you want to use to describe that.
That was such a freedom, and that was something we really learned in the foundation class we took in July. I can't remember, you said something, but Crystal Crawford was like, yeah, but you like that. Like, you like that about you. Like, why are you going into a wrongness of you? Just because other people don't think that that's the right way to be doesn't mean it's not, right?
Yeah, I think it was like even something about like having a lot of confusion in my life, like where I just like I try to make things. I'm everything is so challenging at times, supposedly, And it's like, well, but if that's what gets me to get stuff done and that's what motivates me, then why is there a wrongness in it, you know? So,
Christy, I agree. I made the choice to do a couple uncomfortable things for myself last week. And after felt so good about myself,
Aw.
right? Because you did it. I'm so proud of you.
I
That's
am too.
awesome.
And you know when you feel like, you know when you're getting that strong nudge, like someone's got a gun pointed to your back and you're like, I don't want, and if you find yourself saying, but I want to do it, but I want to do it, but, well, that's a big bullshit lie. Like you're trying to, you know what you
Whenever
need to do.
you go into story of why you can't do something, that's a red flag. You might as well just be like, wow, I'm a total liar. Like,
Exactly. So start calling yourself on the bullshit that you're telling yourself.
I love that, actually. I've been really catching myself. Like, Krista will say something, I'm like, oh, no, I can't do that because blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, oh, I see what I'm doing. I'm totally lying to myself.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And so as soon as you just become aware, like, ask, what is this? Is this something showing up in a way I didn't expect? And what would happen? What would it create more for me now in the future if I did this uncomfortable thing? Like, what is that uncomfortable thing that you don't want to do that you've been putting off? And if you find like there's always something that nags at you and you're always wanting to avoid it and you don't want to think about it, that is exactly hi there. That's the thing. Like that's the thing that you could pursue that you have been avoiding because you maybe like we have these things called distractor implants, right? And they're all the things that keep us in this reality, keep us normal, keep us average, keep us like everyone else. But we have so much to offer that gift you truly be. And a lot of the things that hold us back from it that keep us here are things like fear would be one of the hugest things. It's like, well, I can't do that. Like, you know, it makes me feel sick to my stomach. I could never do that. I'm too nervous. Well, what if you just did it? Like just rip that Band-Aid off.
What if fear is just covering up a potency underneath, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mary Lynn
and Amanda. And Amber says, finding the magic again is true happiness. It's my happy place. Me too, Amber. That's one thing, like in the morning, I'm like, what do I want out of this day? I want to just live in the magic of the day and like find the magic and the excitement and the fun stuff, right? We think that life has to be so serious because that's what this reality is all about,
right?
Responsibilities and like all that.
We're grown-ups now. We can't have fun anymore, you know, like we just gotta go to work, get a good job, you know, do all the responsible things. But what about us? You know, like what about you? What would it take to have fun today? Like I know that we're gonna have fun, Amanda, because we're going to a concert, and I haven't been to a concert forever. And you know, like I have gone into my head about like what's it gonna look like, and you know, I don't stay up late, and blah 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 blah. All these stories you start making up in your head about, you know, like we pre-plan our day all the time, and instead, like, what if you could just ask for that fun energy of like your childlike energy? What if you could just put that out there, ask for that energy, and then just follow the energy trail of to where that takes you? And it is very likely going to be things that you know, that you didn't expect, and like the things that make you feel uncomfortable, go with it, you know, like just follow that energy trail and just see what comes from it, and you might just be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. Okay. Amber says, we've been so programmed and filled with so many beliefs. I think it's time to finally break through those limiting beliefs. Absolutely, Amber. And then so when you do like start changing, don't go into a wrongness about how you have been functioning, because like we were raised to be like that, right?
So, exactly.
Yeah.
And Amanda, you will have a blast. Oh yeah, we will have a blast. And that's the thing, right? If I want to go home early and go to bed, I can. You don't have to, like, just because everyone else is, like, staying up late or everyone else is doing this and everyone else is going to this thing. Like, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to.
Exactly.
Because, like we talked about, people are they're gonna judge no matter what. Whether you do what you want or you do what you don't want, people are always gonna judge.
Yeah.
So
just don't go into alignment and agreement with their judgments, because that makes you have to go into a wrongness of you, but you made that choice in the first place. So
yeah. And so, like, just because, say, a mass majority of people all think that something is right doesn't make it right, and it doesn't make it wrong. Everything is just a point of view. So I don't even know what else to say. Besides, do whatever the hell you want to do. Yeah. And if you want some guidance and somewhere to start and some fun and practical tools to use that will hold you accountable to you, come and see Kara and I and take our Practical Magic, the beginning. And if you have kids, geez, get them started now. And they're like, it'll just create so much more in this world that we live in.
Yeah.
So, coo.
Yeah.
If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. And so this is day 3 of the 5-day Facebook Live challenge that I'm in. Tomorrow, I'm not sure because, like I said, we're going to the city tomorrow. So tonight. Yeah, tonight. So I'm probably tomorrow will be coming on at a random time, whether I'm in the city or I'm with Kerrigan. Who knows what will come into the future. Mm-hmm. So thank you, everyone, for joining us today. This has been pleasantly surprising and wonderful. And
so please write down on a piece of paper somewhere where you'll see it every day, nothing is personal.
Exactly.
That's honestly one of the biggest keys to being who you truly be, is to realize that nothing is personal ever. So
to do whatever the hell you want.
So do whatever the hell you want. Be wacky, be wild, be crazy, be you.
Yeah.
And hang out with us.
And hang out with us, because we're pretty fucking weird. And we have embraced who we are. So, and you know what? There's going to be a lot of people out there judging the hell out of us. And you know what? It's all about just receiving all of it. Receiving the good, the bad, the ugly. Like, receiving it all. And being okay with it. And still just choosing for you. Be you.
Yeah.
Have an awesome day. Happy December 1st.
Yeah, happy December 1st.
Bye-bye.
Bye. No.